Hi all. Hi all. Good evening. Welcome to day 10 session. No doubt, Shankar Narayanan session he would be handling, but I had a small leftover portion, so I thought I would take initially close that with the next 20 minutes or so. Once that it is over, once that has been over, then he would come out and take it. Now I have asked him to join little delayed by 6:30 plus. He would be joining at that time, and at that time I'll hand over the proceedings for the day. As he felt that it would be proper if it is being handled in a chronological order. Coming back here, in our last class discussion, we have been discussing on certain transactions wherein which input tax credit are all not eligible. I'll make my initial discussions from where we began. When it comes to motor vehicle, yes, if your motor vehicle is going to be a main supply to you, based on motor vehicle, you're going to carry passengers, less than 13 only discussion. More than 13, it is not in discussion at all. Now, your business is travel business, your business is learning of how to drive. Now, in that case, yes, the motor vehicle is also eligible. Repair and maintenance associated with the motor vehicle is also eligible. Followed by, when it comes to aircraft and vessel, same in that case. If it is used for transporting passengers, if it is going to be used for hiring, or it is going to be used for imparting navigating skill in case of vessel, and imparting flying skill in case of aircraft, or used for transportation of goods, then no doubt on the vessel or aircraft, it would be the respective person would be eligible to claim credit. Rest all are prohibited from claiming credit. Rest of the others are all ineligible. So a private limited company or there were jewelry showrooms. Just for your information, one of the very famous jewelry showroom has an aircraft of itself. Lalita Jewelry has an aircraft for themselves where their managing directors, top executives, people who are all. You take up Kalyan Jewelers, they have their own aircraft. So what I'm trying to bring here a point is it's very common. Joy Alucas, Joss Alucas, you name them. Everybody have a private aircraft. And having a private aircraft is very common. A 12-seater, a 6-seater, a 8-seater aircraft. I mean, all these are all very, very common. Sometimes some of them have choppers. TVS have choppers. So for a company, for a company who does about 5,000 crores a year or 10,000 crores a year, maintaining a chopper is somewhat is mandatory because their top executives will be moved from one location to another. In this background, will they all be entitled to claim ITC? Answer is absolutely no. ITC would not be eligible unless and otherwise these conditions are satisfied. Moving forward, getting into the next blockage that is being there associated with the section. The next block comes on certain items that are consumed. Very specifically, food and beverage, outdoor catering services, or it is going to be health insurance, life insurance, or it is going to be club membership fees, or it is going to be fitness, or any travel benefit extended to employee, such as leave travel assistance, home travel assistance we have. On those benefits, if there is any ITC, those are all blocked. However, if the input services that are mentioned could be relating to outdoor catering, could be relating to all those beauty treatment or all those other services. Those services are going to be part and parcel of a particular composite supply or mixed supply. It is going to be part and parcel of the composite supply or mixed supply. Then no doubt the respective organization would be entitled to claim credit. Take a situation like this where it is going to be a film shooting of Bahubali and a very specific scene that a war scene where they want this side junior artist 1000 people, that side junior artist 1000 people. All that people need to be fed, all that people need to be makeover has to be done. So all that has to be done. For all this, with one consultant, they cannot do. For every 200 people, every 500 people for serving food, for every 200 people for makeover services, they had the subcontractors. There was a main contractor and there was variety of subcontractors. When the subcontractor provides services to the main contractor, no doubt, yes, they would be entitled to claim in case of these identified services that we have mentioned on the list. That's just an example. But for these circumstances, very rarely we will come across a usage of this example bias. Getting more specifically into any services in relation to construction. In other words, construction of an immovable property. When services supplied for construction of immovable property, where any services is going to be associated with construction of immovable property. Now, points for our discussion in case of construction of an immovable property. A company is constructing its own factory. While constructing its own factory, the company gave the work of construction to another company. Let's say JK Builders Private Limited was signed up an agreement to construct a factory building for Surya Packages Private Limited. Surya Packages Private Limited wanted to have a factory. For that, this JK Builders Private Limited went and did the construction. Now, whatever activity done by JK Builders, when we carefully read along with Schedule 2, Para 6, Clause B, 2119 definition, it would come under a definition, broader discussion called as works contract. There is going to be a transfer of property in goods. Plus, apart from the transfer of property in goods, there is going to be an activity of construction, erection, commissioning, installation, fitting out. And on all this, it is going to, end of the day, they're going to give back and on an immovable property, all this is going to happen. In case of any services relating to construction, erection, commissioning, installation, fitting out of an immovable property, then place of supply will be the, instead of referring to place of supply, in all these cases, the eligibility to credit will be based on if your main service is going to be works contract service. No, my main service is not works contract. I manufacture a car and sell. I manufacture a paper box and sell. I manufacture a laptop and sell. I manufacture a chair and sell. None of these organizations are eligible to take credit. Let me repeat it. Not only for construction of a factory, any services, any construction related services, input tax credit is not eligible, except if construction services are going to be treated as a revenue expenditure. If it is going to be capitalized, nothing, if the expenditures are going to be capitalized, then nothing is eligible. Any services, when a services is supplied for construction of an immovable property, they only say other than plant and machinery. That is to say, for my plant to stand, for my machine to stand, I put a small civil foundation. On that civil foundation, am I eligible to claim credit? Yes. But to protect the machine, I put a factory shed, construct a factory. On that factory, am I eligible to take credit? Answer is no. Just for your information and consumption, organizations spend lot of money in constructing factory. Cost of construction of factory will be 150 crores. Cost of support structure for plant and machinery will be 5 or 10 crores, which means law is very clear. On 150 crores, cost of construction of factory, ITC is not eligible. To the contrary, in case of your activities relating to support structure or activities relating to any services done on a plant and machinery, like to a mission to stand, we will put civil foundation. To put a genset, we will put a small civil slabs. On all those items, no doubt, ITC would be eligible. Moving forward from all these discussions, getting into the next part of discussion, because the company was being told they are not eligible to take credit if they appoint a contractor. What that company told is they themselves purchased goods, they themselves procured services, and started to build the construction on their own account. Let me repeat. They started to build the construction on their own account, which means I know you want what brick, sand, cement, what is it? Brick, sand, cement, followed by steel, iron rods, how to plan worker, labor, this only. No, I will ensure everything is arranged and I will do it by myself. Even if all those goods, all those services are procured for own purposes. Let me repeat. All those goods, all those services are procured for own purposes. Input tax credit would not be eligible. So let me repeat it. Input tax credit on both grounds is not eligible. Can you confirm if the audio is breaking? I get a message from somebody without their name. Its mobile name is mentioning. Can some of you, Babuji says it's good. Satish says it is clear. Amitji says it is clear. Anusha says it's clear. Okay. Somebody who texted me, read me, I don't know. Technically, I would recommend when you are on a virtual meeting, it is always ideal to use your name. Already, it's a faceless discussion. And if your name is also not real, it is going to be Oppo, Vivo, administrator, third standard UKG, roll number 342. See, I can understand all challenges, but always, once you logged in, at least after logging in, you can always change. You can see me how it is being done. But in any case, I leave it to you. So it's an etiquette it is required. Now coming back here, getting into our discussion. What is the final conclusion, Mr. Ganesh, you are trying to say here? The final conclusion that I'm driving home to say here is, when it comes to construction of buildings will not be eligible for other business people except whose main business is construction. See, come on, you cannot prevent L&T Construction, JK Constructions from claiming credit. Their main business is what? Construction. So if somebody's main business is construction, then input tax credit is eligible. If somebody's main business is giving works contract services, for them again, input tax credit is eligible. Then for whom input tax credit is not eligible? Input tax credit is not eligible for somebody whose main business is other than construction related matter. Even in case of other than construction related matter, two more discussion. One, if you're going to use that construction services for a plant and machinery, works contract services, or you are going to use the construction services for repair and maintenance of your machinery or repair and maintenance of your building. In both cases, input tax credit is eligible. I'll do one thing. I'll ask you certain questions. Maybe in the chat box, you can reply me. Based on that reply, I would be comfortably closing this topic, whether the intended discussion is understood or not. Coming back here. Monica, interior works for a gym and all is highly debatable. See, what is interior works has to be designed. Putting a glass is not an interior work. So glass paneling may not be interior work, but false roofing, again, it is attached to the earth. So you have to do this study in a very more detailed way. False roofing is something attached to the earth. Internal paneling is something attached to the earth. So those aspects and all are all ineligible, absolutely ineligible. So coming back here, points for our discussion is In all these cases, the credit eligibility, very often people will say, I am coming up with a new interior decoration. There is no head called as interior decoration, just for your information. If you go and check very carefully in the list of services, there is no interior decoration heading itself. Okay. So you have to identify, it's a kind of works contract. So whether it is covered under works contract or not, if you are, for example, if the interior person is going to put a works contract bill and give it, that's the end for the gym. They would not be entitled to claim input tax credit at all. So that is how it is going to be appreciated over here. Coming back here, some more questions for discussion. It was Kia Motors Limited, whose main business is manufacture of cars. Kia Motors, whose main business is manufacture of cars. He is the recipient of works contract services. And the contractor is L&T Constructions, let's say. L&T Constructions Limited has constructed a building, a factory building, not for 1 rupee, 2 rupee. The cost of the project is 1000 crores and the GST involved in it is rupees 180 crores. Now the question before us is, can Kia Motors claim ITC? That's all. Very simple question. And I'm going to juggle around on this facts. That's all. Broader facts is given, some supplementary facts and additional facts. That's all will make my day. Will Kia Motors would be entitled to claim ITC? Yes. Done. Vivek, again, setting up a solar power station for a company. Will it be covered under a works contract? We have to check the agreement. Agreement will decide. There is a high possibility that it will be a works contract. No doubt about it. There is a high possibility that it would be a works contract. So it's very, very, very tough to decide on that account. So coming back here, Rohit, check your answer. When Kia Motors, whose main business is going to be manufacture of cars, okay, he is not a construction company. So he would not be entitled. No, in that factory building inside only he is making car. All that is said and done. That is a building, factory building. He would not be entitled to claim. But very interesting to note over here is same Kia, same L&T. This time only one difference. This time all those support building or support structure. If you're going to put a plant, all those support structure. If you're going to put some plants, then for that plant, some column need to be there, some support structures need to be there. All that. All that came up to 100 crores, and on that GST paid by the company is 18 crores. Same question, ITC eligible or not eligible? That's all. Yes. So what is the difference between earlier question and this question? The only difference between earlier question and this question, in the earlier question, when it comes to Kia Motor, it was the money collected for the complete factory building. Whereas when it comes to this, it is only for plant and machinery. The company would be entitled to claim. At this level, we'll stop the story of Kia Motors. We'll get into the facts of L&T. L&T Construction. L&T Constructions has outsourced the work to this fellow. VRL Logistics for rupees 150 crores. A particular work was outsourced to VRL Logistics, let's say 200 crores for some convenience. 200 crores. For 200 crores, VRL Logistics was outsourced. On that, there was a 36 crores of ITC. Now the question is, L&T is the recipient of service. VRL Logistics is the supplier of service. Question before us is whether L&T would be entitled to claim input tax credit. Whether L&T Constructions will be eligible to claim input tax credit. Yes or no? Kindly read me. You have to check your answer. Yes, eligible, not eligible. Krishnan Ramaswamy, sir. Mr. Krishnan Ramaswamy, kindly check your answer. Yes. See, let me repeat it. L&T's main business is construction or works contract services, and they are receiving something from their subcontractors. They should be eligible. At no stretch of imagination, you can block this. Again, moving forward into the next part of this discussion, where L&T Constructions purchased various goods and services for rupees 600 crores, on which GST was appropriately paid. Are they eligible to claim ITC? L&T procure goods and services from the market. They take manpower, they take mission, they take crane on hire, they take architect services. Are they eligible for ITC? L&T, which all used end of the day for Kia Motor building. Eligible, not eligible? A lot of you are agreeing. Good, that's all. Now, one more level. This time, it is not our discussion on L&T. For the 200 crore contract, with whom? For the 200 crore contract, this VRL Logistics for the 200 crore contract procure goods for 150 crores. Will he be eligible for ITC? VRL is also eligible. Administrator, kindly check. I don't know who has, what your name is, administrator, read me. Done. Quick. What is that logic of ITC eligible up to 160 crores, Vivek? I don't understand that logic. I don't understand the administrator's logic. Where is the question of related here? VRL Logistics is a separate company. L&T is a separate company. So, how it is different? Done. Now, point here is, in case of VRL Logistics, ITC would be eligible. VRL Logistics is eligible to claim ITC because what VRL Logistics is going to provide is construction services to somebody. You cannot block it. Now, on this whole discussion, last example to discuss. This time, Kia Motors decided, let us forget all these fellows. All these fellows we will not rely. Kia Motors by themselves. Let me repeat. Kia Motors appointed L&T as their major consultant, and as per L&T instruction, we will go. L&T will not do anything, just advise and keep quiet. For that, L&T was paid 200 crores. L&T was comfortable. In any case, I get my money. I am not bothered about it. But Kia Motors told we will buy all the goods and services. About goods and services worth rupees 600 crores, Kia Motor has purchased. Will Kia Motors be eligible to claim input tax credit? Yes or no? That's all. Beyond that, there is nothing in this topic. Okay. If you want, no, you have to test me further. Only one question I will ask, which is now Kia Motors purchased goods or services for repair and maintenance of building which is not capitalized. Kia Motors purchase goods or services for repair and maintenance of building. They spend some 10,000 rupees, on that there is 1,800. They spend some 3 lakhs, on that there is some 36,000. And that and all will not be capitalized. It will be treated as expenses in your profit and loss account. Is ITC eligible? Answer is yes, ITC. That's all. If you are having a complete grip, beyond that there is nothing. But the problem here is how to conclude whether a contract is a works contract or not. That will come only by experience. Let me repeat it. We have to see many contracts. It is not orally can be conveyed. That's all. This is works contract. Come on, understand. In independent India, it is a 35-year litigation. 1984, first case law we have. Gannon Dunkley Limited versus State of Madras. This was the first case on works contract. The journey begins from there, and last decision on works contract is L&T 2013 3-member Supreme Court decision, followed by Kone Elevators 2015 5-member Supreme Court decision. That 5-member Supreme Court at last decided works contract has 2 elements. There is a portion of goods, there is a portion of service. It's a unique contract by itself. For the portion of goods, VAT will be levied. For the portion of services, services will be levied. And now coming back here, when it comes to immovable property, under earlier law, it will be in both movable and immovable property. Now it has to be only on immovable property, which is not movable. Just like that, it is not movable. Let me repeat it. Just like that, it is not movable. Think your AC. AC can be just like that removable. Then it is movable. What are all cannot be just like that movable. All are immovable in nature. That is how. And again, what is immovable is a separate discussion of various decisions. A learning will come. A simple way. If I need to remove it, it will be difficult for me. That is the simplest way of understanding. Coming back here, getting into the last part of our discussion. In case of other blocked input tax credit, we have few other blockage of input tax credit, which some of the things we know, some of the things yet to be taken care by us. On that, the first entry, goods or services where tax has been paid under composition. Goods or services on which tax has been paid under composition levy. I am sure we have discussed elaborately. Even otherwise on input tax credit, I have already told, but government want to be very clear. That in case of in composition levy, if in case exceptionally someone has collected tax, the recipient is straight away barred. On all those goods on services, tax has been paid under section 10, ITC is not eligible. Similarly, a non-resident taxable person, maybe at the time of definition we discussed about this gentleman, a non-resident taxable person, that is to say he want to do business occasionally in India, he is not a regular person in India, and he want to occasionally take part in the business in India. For that, with his goods, he came to India. Now, a non-resident taxable person only on his imported goods, he is eligible to claim credit. Apart from this, on no goods, no services, he is eligible to claim input tax credit. Which means in India, he will stay in a room. In India, he will engage a cab. In India, he will use various other services. None of the goods, none of the services he is eligible to claim credit. From foreign country, if he has imported any goods, only on the imported goods he is eligible. This condition is applicable for whom? Only for non-resident taxable person. Rarely it will be used, not regularly used. The next entry is the most important entry. Goods or services used for private or personal consumption. I am not sure. I am not finding fault with any of you. In case if any of you felt, something adversely, then don't take me otherwise. Goods or services used for private consumption, which means what? If you're going to ask me, discussion is a very simple discussion. There is a laptop of a company given to an employee. That employee uses that laptop for office work also, accessing his personal mail, seeing film, seeing this, that, all that. Okay, chatting with friends, Facebook, everything, he uses that laptop. Is the goods is used for only business purposes or business as well as personal purposes? It is used only for business or for both? Now, when it is used for both, then credit to the extent of other than business purposes need to be reached. But the most difficult point is, how are we going to identify this? In fact, that is why majority of the technology company, IT company, ITES company has restrictions on the laptops itself. That none of the external drives will function. None of the other sites can be logged in. They have to log in through certain virtual networks, and then they get the access to log in. When they access to certain sensitive database, other external internet-based links and all will get automatically cut. All this is there. Maybe all that can be given as a reason that this is not used for private or personal purposes. Okay, leave it here. At this discussion, I accept. Take a partnership firm. This partnership firm has a this partnership firm has a mobile phone purchased by the partners, because he purchased all those high-end mobile phone which worth rupees 1 lakh, and on that there is a GST of 18,000, and it is always used, and this is always used by always this mobile phone is used for the purpose of office, though it also used for personal purposes. On the entire 18,000, are they still eligible to claim credit? So you have to think every goods, every services. If you carefully note, words are widely worded, goods or services. Followed by H, one of the very important entry, goods lost, goods stolen, goods destroyed, goods written off, goods disposed of as, or goods disposed of or given as free sample. If you carefully note, in all these circumstances, goods are not sold. In all those circumstances, goods are not sold. Wherever goods are not sold, in all those cases, ITC need to be reversed. During Kerala flood, all those people, raw material got destroyed. Some of them manufactured and kept their finished goods. That finished goods was lost. In a riot, goods are stolen, or somebody, a thief come and has stolen the goods, or because of some challenges, it got destroyed. Maybe a fatal accident, maybe other than fatal accident, for some reason. in case of goods lost, stolen, destroyed, or given as free sample. In pharma industry, it is common in various other industries. In all these cases, ITC need to be reversed. And last but not the least, in case if any tax is paid on account of section 74, 129, 130, all three sections are for fraudulent purposes. Where a notice is issued, a show cause notice is issued under section 74 for a fraud case, where a penalty is getting invoked under section 129 based on section 74 for not maintaining records, non-issuance of it, or whatever reasons, where a 130 penalty exclusively done during movement of goods. End of the day, all these matters are relating to fraud. In fraud, credit is not eligible. Of course, 17.5, I will highlight it. More so, we already saw this discussion in Rule 36, Sub Rule 3. 36.3 already said fraud, any tax paid on account of fraud, ITC is not eligible. See, there are a lot of frauds happening. There are people are not procuring goods, but they are having bills that they have procured goods. People are selling goods. Okay, they will sell to somebody, they'll give bill to somebody and all. If all this is known to department at a later date, department will withdraw. Department has information. Department says this is fraud. Then the assessee has to prove that it is not a fraud because he is the one who has taken credit. If it is fraud, section is very clear. The moment a credit is erroneously taken on account of fraud, ITC need to be reversed. These are all the conditions that we have as part of the section 17.5. And that sums up my complete presentation. As advised by my brother, somehow I've taken a little extra time. I thought I would close by half an hour or so. I've taken little extra, 40 minutes. Shankar, thank you. I'll now do one thing. I'll hand over the whole proceedings to Shankar, and Shankar would take up the whole session. 1 minute, Shankar. Shankar, you are host now.
Yes, Ganesh. Now you will have to log off and check whether the recording is happening.